I've been long-term testing the Civic Si, so I'll let you guys know what it's actually like to live with. I'll include a link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into it. Under the hood is a turbo 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed manual. Puts out 200 horsepower and then 192 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is 27 around town, 37 on the highway, and you can actually expect to get the EPA rating with this car. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, other than the bright blue, this is one of the best colors on Hondas. It's this gray with gold metallic flake. Now, the Civic's got very sharp looking headlights, and the way to differentiate this as an SI is literally the SI badge, and I guess it's kind of blacked out the front end. But unlike the Type R, the SI is not nearly as flashy with the styling. Tire and wheel setup is 235 by 40 by 18. The wheels are completely blacked out with this. It also comes with a limited slip differential. And then the side profile of this looks a little bit more aggressive compared to a regular Civic because of the blacked out mirror caps, wheels, and then also the little spoiler in the back. When it comes to key fob features, we've got the Honda logo on the back, lock and unlock on the front, and then the opening for the trunk. We've got these little pull tabs that throw down the seats for more storage, but unlike the Type R, this isn't going to have as much storage in the back because it's the sedan, not the hatchback. If you want more storage, yeah, you go for the hatchback. And here's a closer look at that blacked out spoiler here on the back, and then I think the taillights are pretty sharp looking, and then you get your SI badge too. That will cap things off for the exterior. Let's check out the interior. Cloth trim right there on the armrest. And the SI does come with cloth seats. It does have a little bit of red stitching to kind of spruce things up. Room in the back of the SI is pretty good. Again, this is a compact car at the end of the day. And then headroom back here, again, pretty limited with the sloped design, and then also, again, being a compact car. Keyless entry for up front, and let's pop in. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then down below, you've got more of that cloth trim. There's this kind of cool pattern on the door panel with the red trim. And that continues in the center of the seats. These seats are manually adjustable, but definitely a cool bucket design. There's also a nice trim on the pedals, and then more red trim around the vents. Start her up. Soft touch all around the steering wheel with red stitching there in the center portion. This has practical stuff like adaptive cruise control with your lane centering. It's got volume and voice command controls there on the left-hand side, and then just traditional stocks on the back. Gauge cluster here in the center is digital. You can change what's within either dial of the gauge cluster, so a nice customization there. And then with the drive modes, it does change the look of the cluster a little bit, but it's not like a crazy change. Decent backup camera in reverse, not crazy good resolution, but it gets the job done. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, shortcut bar here on the side. It's easy to click between the different tabs. It's quick to respond. Other than being a tablet on the dash, it's a good system. Now, something that's definitely cool about this dash is the vent design. I think that's nice looking. And then just single zone climate with heated seats. It does have some USB ports with a 12-volt too. Shifter for the 6-speed manual. We'll talk about the engagement there at the driving portion. And then we have our drive mode select right next to that auto stop start. Parking brake and brake hold too. And then some cup holders. Center console's got more of that cloth trim, and then we do have a sunroof up top. Not a great angle, but anyways, $31,800 is the MSRP on the Civic Si. Let's see how the Si performs. Civic Si. And you guys wondering, my fuel economy average has been 36.3 miles per gallon. I would say that is probably about 80% highway, 20% city, roughly. Yeah, so mostly highway with this particular test on this car, but a bit of city too. And I will say, yeah, once you start driving around town, like the fuel economy, it starts dropping. Because like on the highway, this has enough horsepower that you just are in 6th gear the whole time. Like obviously if you're passing someone, then, you know, maybe you're gonna downshift. But even then, like it's just got enough, it's got enough power. It's a small, lightweight car that you really just kind of cruise in 6th gear the whole time, which, I don't know. I think that's nice, and I think that's why it's able to be pretty economical on the highway for being a sportier car. Now, this is not luxury when it comes to sound insulation. Like, you still hear the road noise. Wind noise is not that bad because it's low to the ground, but you get the road noise. But overall, seats are comfortable. Honda does a really good job with their seats. And this has auto rev match, so it makes commuting a lot better because I'm not constantly having to rev match myself. I can just let the car do it. And I know some people say, well, if I get a manual, I want to be doing the shifting, and and the auto rev match and everything, and it's like, I get that, but it's also nice when you're in bumper to bumper traffic like I was yesterday, and the car can rev match when you're constantly going up and down throughout the gears. Other than that, it's also pretty fun to drive. It's not, I would say, as fun as the Type R, because that's got a lot more power, and the suspension sophistication with that is a bit more exciting. Yeah, we got no one around, so we're gonna overtake here. Bye-bye, John Deere. And the power delivery is just smooth. It is just smooth. You can see that's the auto rev match feature. It's nice. So kind of show you guys the handling coming through here. It's pretty sharp. The limited slip diff helps put the power down because this is just front wheel drive. So it's definitely not as sporty feeling as the previous gen Civic. This definitely is a bit more luxe. But I think it's a good balance between, it's still like engaging, still pretty fun to drive, but it's also very comfortable. Like, you don't get sick of the car. And I think that's important for something like this that is ultimately kind of like a sporty commuter, is a way that you could look at this. So overall, I really like the Civic Si. I think the biggest competition to this is that new Civic Hybrid, which as of me filming this video, I've already filmed the comparison, but I haven't posted it yet. I do have a comparison with the Civic Si versus the Civic Hybrid for those of you that are interested in seeing that. But yeah, that Civic Hybrid, it's game-changing for the Civic, and so it kind of makes the Si feel irrelevant in certain ways. It doesn't have a manual, obviously, and that's a big thing with the Si, is if you want affordable manual Civic fun, well, this is the way to go, because the Type R is very expensive. But let me know your thoughts on the Si, but I think that I think we might see a world where Honda, I mean, well, time will tell, but maybe Honda will just do the hybrid, and then the Type R, I mean, who knows, because people, I mean, they'll still do the base Civic, obviously, but the Si, I don't know, it might become irrelevant, because it seems like people like that hybrid more. We'll see.